What is up, Gato Squad? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Elias, and if you are new here and you like car content, please hit that button below to subscribe. Well, you've already seen the 5 negatives. Let's look at the 5 positives of using the Civic Type R as a road trip car. Now, by now, again, no doubt you've seen the 2 videos, the part 1 and part 2 of the road trip to Boston. I drove the car basically almost 1,000 miles, so I wanted to share with you guys the positives now of using the Type R as a road trip car. Let's get started. By now I'm sure you've seen the 5 negatives of this car, but at the end of that video I said there are some positives, so here we are. Now, as you may notice, I am wearing sunglasses. I don't usually wear sunglasses because when I'm driving the Type R, I'm on back roads, there's enough shade, and when I'm driving long distances on a highway, I'm usually in a 335D, and that has tinted everything, so I never really have a need for sunglasses. But in the Type R, we're driving on the highway again today. We're actually getting some things done. I just wanted to drive a Type R, so here we are with some sunglasses. We got some cops somewhere. Where are they? Here we go. So the first reason why this car actually makes a half-decent long-distance road trip car, and this surprised me actually when I saw it, because I've never really had this happen with the Type R before, and it was the fuel mileage. Holy crap, it almost gave us 30 miles to the gallon on the highway there and back, and that surprised me because it was very similar to the mileage that I used to get in the Civic hatchback. And in fact, that Civic hatchback Sport never really got 29-30 miles to the gallon. I always got around 27-28 miles to the gallon. So this did better than that Civic hatchback Sport. Again, extremely surprising to me. I did not expect that at all. I've been averaging around 20 to 23 miles to the gallon in the lifetime of the car beforehand. Even less if you consider the days I took it out to the track. I got like 6 or 7 miles to the gallon at the track, which is to be expected. So the second positive this car has as a road trip car is the practicality. I could easily fit all kinds of luggage, extra pillows, extra clothes, and 4 passengers in here if I had 4 passengers. But I can fit pretty much anything I ever wanted in this car that I could think of. And that's really useful to have, because on a road trip you never know what you want. You know, you can go to a hotel and you may want your own pillow or an extra blanket or your own towels or whatever the case may be. You may want to bring your own case of beer or your own case of water, whatever you want to bring, and sometimes you just don't have the space for it. Well, in the Type R, it being a hatchback and all, there was tons of space for pretty much anything we wanted. I didn't have to be careful about what I wanted to pack. I just threw stuff in there and whatever I need, it'll be in the car if I need it. Not that I really need much to go on road trips, but sometimes you never know. And I can see myself, if I'm going camping or something, I probably see myself taking the Type R, because if I want to get, pack a tent, a cooler full of stuff, food and things like that, I want to have a couple of backpacks, a couple of extra sleeping blankets and pillows and things like that. May not be able to fit all that in the BMW, especially if I'm bringing other people with me. So if I'm going to be going camping or something like that this summer, I can see myself totally bringing the Type R out instead of the 325D. That's pretty huge, because practicality is something that people kind of forget when they're buying these types of cars, especially when they're buying a Type R. I feel like practicality sits so far back on the list of things that people want from the Type R that they don't really look at it. Now, the next positive of this car is, again, probably going to be surprising to you guys, and it was very surprising to me as well, and that's road presence. Now, if you don't know what road presence is, it's something that you kind of feel out when you're driving on the highway. For example, if you're driving a big pickup truck and you're going fast in the left lane, people tend to move over. gets old. So, what gives this car its road presence? Well, I think a lot of it has to do with that polarizing look that people seem to either love or really hate. And it's kind of hard to miss this car when you're on the road. You know, you're looking around your mirrors as you should be, and you see a Camry or a Corolla or even a Civic. You're not really gonna look twice, and you may forget that it's there. It'll escape your mind rather quickly. But you see a Type R coming up your rear, and you see all those red accents and the black grille, and you may even take a glimpse of the wing, and it's a wide stanced car, and you're probably not gonna forget it. In fact, you're probably gonna think, oh, here comes a boy racer or some guy going way too fast. Let me get out of the way. And while that may sound negative, it's actually a huge positive, because again, you get so many left lane hoggers, especially in Massachusetts. Man, those people do not know how to drive. No offense, any of my peeps from Massachusetts. Anyway, back to the point at hand. This car actually surprisingly has a lot of road presence. I was able to just kind of cruise along at around 75, 80 miles an hour, passing all kinds of people, having no issues. People kind of got out of my way. Nobody cut me off, which is surprising because they used to cut me off in the hatchback all the time, the sport hatchback I used to own. And nobody cut me off. Everybody kind of, they looked at the car. As I passed by, I sometimes look over to see what the drivers are doing, and they usually always are looking at this car, so they do notice this car exists, which in itself is pretty cool. And yeah, road presence is pretty nice to have, and I'm glad the Type R has it. So the next reason why I think this car is okay as a long distance road trip car is that it's actually a lot of fun. And that should come as no surprise to anybody. The Type R should be the most fun, if not one of the most fun cars you can buy today, brand new. And that's no hyperbole. This car is extremely fun anywhere you go. And that's an extreme positive, because you get to a city, and let's say you're driving around a minivan or a SUV or something that's probably amazing at the highway. Once you get to the city you're going to go to, and you're going to start driving around the city, maybe find parking or whatever, it's not going to be that much fun. It's still going to be a plain Jane, boring, vanilla experience. Meanwhile, while I'm in my car, yes, I took the highway and it was kind of boring, but as soon as I get out on that off-ramp or get back on the highway with the on-ramp, I'm having fun. I'm putting it down into fourth gear, third gear, revving it out, hearing the engine roar, feeling that acceleration, feeling the chassis, and it's just a ton of fun to have. Even on the highway, to be honest with you, you can have a lot of fun. You can drop it into fifth gear, fourth gear. I'll do it right now. Put it into fifth, and just listen to that. That's great. And without that, it becomes pretty mundane. 4.5 hours on the highway, it's mundane no matter how you try to swing it. You can, like I said, podcasts and music, but if you don't have a fun car to go along with it, you're just going to be bored as hell. And then the final reason why this car did okay as a road trip car is the positive energy and the positive views that people get as you drive along. So as I said, you're driving along, it's kind of boring sometimes. You kind of look around, you pass off, and there's kids in minivans and SUVs, and pretty much every kid that I saw as I drove by them, they were all smiling. They're like, oh look, and they were talking. It looked like they were talking about the car. So the car does garner some attention, and it does liven up some people's days. And what's better than livening up a person's day, and especially a kid's day? That's great. I was at actually a gas station, and I was getting gas in a Shell station, waiting for Jane to get some snacks and things like that. And as I was getting into the car, a little girl came up to me and said, "You have a nice car." I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. I wouldn't be getting that if it wasn't a cool car like a Type R. If I had like a minivan or an SUV or something like that, again, I really wouldn't have gotten that. But since this car has the wing, and the styling is kind of crazy, it just looks stanced out, it looks wide, people kind of take notice, and it livens some people's day up. I see even adults looking at it and smiling, kind of like, oh, what's that? I get some questions every time I stop, or I'm driving along. I get a thumbs up, I get a little beep or a little honk from other Honda owners, and you don't get that with a lot of other cars. Overall, Again, would I choose this car over a 335D for a long distance road trip? Absolutely not. There are better cars for that, and the 335D has all the 5 things I said. 335D minus the last one apply. So 335D does not garner that much attention, but the other positives that the BMW has make it a better road trip car. But since I had to use the Type R, you know, I was pleasantly surprised at how decent it did. Yeah, there was the 5 negatives that I talked about, but there are 5 positives too, and I would not hesitate to do it again. Like, for example, if I had to go camping, or if I had to go, you know, carry a whole bunch of crap with people, I would take the Type R. I wouldn't even think about it twice. So there you have it, guys. I did the 5 negatives, the 5 positives, and a whole road trip experience with the Type R. I never thought I would do that. I was gonna only use this car for track days and for, you know, back road driving and for car meets and things like that. But I guess I started using it as a daily driver recently since the 335D is out of commission. I guess that's one nice part about having so many cars. This one doesn't work, pick another one. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.